Our next speaker is Melanie Robinson, and I think she's a great example of someone who continuously sets her goals and migrates towards that next step. And so I probably was aware of her for a little while and became more, we connected probably a year ago. And at that point, she had a really big goal audacious goal of creating really strong, large joint venture opportunities, especially on the East Coast, but probably across Canada. And in the last 6 months, she's been rocking it. She's been putting so many joint venture deals together. And so we're having her here today to talk about some of the great things that she's done and what she's working on. Melanie, are you there?
I am here.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. And wow, that's a tough act to follow. All that energy in Calvin's. Anyhow, thank you so much for having me. I feel like I'm the one presenter who doesn't fit in with the rest in that I am not a realtor. I am actually an investor. But super excited to share what I'm doing here in the real estate investing world and what I offer to other investors. So I've done several different strategies over the years. Some new builds and flips and BRRRRs and long-term buy and holds, spot foreclosures, which are super fun. I've done lots of different things, but right now, as you mentioned, Roland, I am focusing on joint venture partnerships and focusing in New Brunswick. So you can go to, I don't know, that slide wasn't on my deck. That must have come from yours. So there we go. So go one more. Perfect. So I'm focusing on New Brunswick, which we did hear about the amazing Moncton market. We do invest in Moncton, focusing a lot on St. John right now, but St. John and Moncton for all of the reasons that were shared already. I mean, the market is really doing incredibly well right now with appreciation. It's really affordable for investors to get in. So the cash required is a lot lower than I'm here in BC, and I'll explain how I in BC doing joint ventures in New Brunswick in a little bit, but in comparison to the BC market and what I can offer people here, the entry point is a lot lower, cash required is lower, what you need to be able to qualify for a mortgage is lower, the rental income is fantastic, cash flow is great, and right now it's really appreciating. Who knows how, none of us know how any of the markets are going to continue to appreciate, but right now it's doing amazingly well. Super low vacancy rate and really landlord friendly, which again is completely opposite from our experience here in lovely, beautiful BC. So that's why I'm in New Brunswick. If you go to the next slide, I'll share with you how I'm doing New Brunswick. Basically, Ryan and Ashley are boots on the ground, and I've partnered with them. We've actually incorporated created a company together as the working partners in our joint venture partnerships, which I'll go into sort of the structure. But what that means for us is that they have a vested interest in these properties. They're born and raised in St. John. They're boots on the ground, and not boots on the ground just looking after this for us like a property manager might. They're boots on the ground and, like I said, a vested interest. They're part owners in the property. So that's how I've done it. They do everything property related, and I do everything partner related. So my role in our working partnership is that I'm building relationships, and I'm basically holding the hand of our financial partners so that they can feel comfortable and at ease and well looked after. That's my role, is everything, all the money side, relationship side, partner side. They do everything property wise, finding those great deals. So if you go to the next slide, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the joint venture structure, so I'll just share, a tiny bit about it. And again, so tonight I'm not even presenting a deal. I'm just wanting to share with you what is possible if you're somebody who loves the idea of investing in real estate, but you don't have the time or the expertise to actually do it. So you're already sold, that you want to invest. You just keep saying it and don't actually take action because you don't know how to pick the properties. You don't know how to work the numbers. You don't know all of that stuff. That's where this kind of arrangement is really beneficial. So in a joint venture partnership, it's sort of divided into two roles, a financial partner role and then a working partner role. And so the financial partner brings the cash that's required to close and qualifies for the mortgage. And then once the property closes, it's our job to look after it for the longevity of the ownership. So the idea is it's nice and passive. Our financial partners get to go and live their life, golf, do whatever it is that they love to do, knowing that they're really well looked after and that their investment is doing well. And that's our job. My job is to continue to communicate with that financial partner and let them know how their investment is doing. And Ryan's job is to be looking after that property and making sure everything's running smoothly. So that's the joint venture structure. It's a 50-50 ownership, and cash flow is split 50-50. And what happens at the end when you sell the property is that the partner gets back every dollar, every penny they put into the property first, and then it's the profit after that that is split 50-50. So any appreciation that's happened in the mortgage pay down, that gets split 50-50 at the end of it. So you can go to the next slide. The other opportunity that we provide investors is private lending. So we will buy properties for cash so that we can be really competitive in our purchases. We also do renovations, raise capital to do renovations. So we raise capital for all sorts of different investments. I actually set my timer so that I didn't run over because last time I was so naughty. Anyhow, so that's the other opportunity, is if somebody is looking for a shorter term investment where they're not looking for the 5 or 10 year long-term buy and hold, building that equity, but they're looking to have their money make money for them, then there's lots of different opportunities to private lend with us in different scenarios. So if you go to the next slide, oh, there you go. Oh, I think we already did that one. It's the private lending. And actually, to be honest with you, this, I said I was raising 150, but I have already raised that. So I've already funded this particular deal, but we're actually closing on a 5-unit and a 6-unit in May. And we're doing the same strategy with both of them. We're buying them in our corporation using commercial financing and then raising capital for the down payment and the renovation to do a BRRRR. And the ideal situation is that we've created enough of a lift that we can pay our private lenders back and end up owning the building outright. But plan B would be to keep some private money in it for a bit. Plan C would be to bring a joint venture partner in, and they get a nice, beautiful turnkey 5 or 6 unit building. So you can, I think it's just my last slide now, which is just wrapping it up. So that's me as a real estate investor. And again, my role in all of this is to help other investors get into investing where they don't have to spend their time and energy. They don't have to become an expert. They don't have to attend all the courses and do all of that learning that goes along with all of the different memberships and just everything that goes into really becoming an expert and being able to manage your investments properly. So that is what I do as a real estate investor. And right now I'm focusing on New Brunswick, but I do invest in other places. And I'm actually closing on 2 properties in Kelowna, May 4th and May 13th that are incredible cash flowing opportunities. So they do come up every once in a while here in BC.
Thank you, Melanie. That is wonderful. It's so impressive to see what you've done in the past year. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You haven't packed on the COVID-15. I think you've worked a lot of sweat equity into those deals.
It's been amazing. So if anybody is curious, I know I just kind of fed you a lot of information in a short period of time. If this is a new concept to you, so feel free to reach out, email, call. I'm happy to chat and explain more.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Melanie.
Thank you.